you know, it was a lot for me, mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought, and it definitely isn't my best in any way. But thank you guys, and I want to thank my fans and everybody that stood by me, even though we took it out today, and the people that came to watch me. You know, a lot of love is out there for me, and I think people know my heart and know that I'll be back and better than ever.
Brian?
Yeah.
Just sort of take on the whole scene. I'm wondering if maybe, had that been a full arena, maybe fans chanting, would it have done something different? It kind of seemed a little quiet for what we were expecting.
Yeah, I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all. It felt like a sparring match, and it felt like you could hear everybody, and it just didn't feel authentic to me. But, you know, no excuses. It is what it is.
Saquon Jones, the boxing voice. You threw probably like less than 30 right hands the whole fight. Can you walk us through what the game plan was? Why did you not throw as many right hands the whole fight?
I mean, that's just part of just me not, you know, being as sharp as I could be. I just didn't really throw anything, to be honest. I mean, I was just throwing jabs and moving around. I just didn't feel there, you know, didn't feel there at all. And, you know, it wasn't part of our game plan at all. Derek had a great game plan. There was a lot of opportunities there, especially when Rolly was going back. I just didn't allow him to go in any way, shape, or form. You know, simple as that.
Devin Garcia with Fight Hype. Brian, I just wanted to ask you, you know, we just saw recently Tank and Lamont have a tough fight, and they had history. Obviously, you and Rolly have had some history to talk about the sparring, but do you think that any of that history played into tonight's outcome?
No, I just think that Rolly's much better than people give him credit for, you know, and he has very strong hands, just solid in general, so you can't just, you know, walk in there and you should get anything on him. He does hit hard, but I don't think the sparring played anything. I was just more of how this night played out. You know, it just wasn't my night.
Do you think you underestimated him at all?
No, I always knew that he was going to be what he is. I feel like I fought the most dangerous fighter on the card. You know, anybody with that type of power is obviously somebody you got to watch out for. But you know, I've always thought I thought Rolly was going to be Tank. You know, just think I just didn't do anything I should have done.
Radio Ryan down front. Do you feel now in this moment that a rematch with Rolly is more important than a rematch with Devin, or vice versa?
Oh man, that's a good question. You know, whatever the fans want. They want me to, you know, run it back with Rolly, let's do it. They want me to go straight for Devin, let's do it. You know, styles make fights. Yeah, I'm willing for any of them again.
You're commended for the way you conducted yourself in the build-up to this fight, so the outcome's a bit ironic. What do you feel like you need to change? Is it in the ring, outside the ring, if to build up to whatever the next fight is?
Right. I think it's just both, combination of both. Throughout the camp, just couldn't get anything going. I felt for myself in training camp. Like I didn't feel like I had more conditioning or more energy or more sharp. I just feel like I couldn't. Nothing was like, you know, progressing in any way, and I just felt weird and off. And I would mention it to Derek, and you know, we were just trying to figure it out, you know. But we only had 5 weeks together, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why I can't get no, you know, I guess progressive, you know, sharpness coming into camp. Like, I don't know why it's not picking up, but we still were confident. I mean, we're still training. It's just nothing clicked. It just nothing was clicking.
Last one for me. You've been knocked down and gotten up before. Is this the hardest you've been hit at 147?
No. I feel like most I've ever been dazed was with Luke Campbell. I was actually dizzy with Luke Campbell getting up. With Rollies, I wasn't dizzy. I was just like, oh, well. there it goes again. All the cameras again. But it doesn't really like, I don't really get like too out of it. Like I'm just like right there. Like it's always a flash knockdown for some reason. I get right back up. But he had potential to hit the hardest though. He definitely had some power.
Ryan, do you feel like maybe, the ring rust and obviously the whole situation they're going through with, with Devin caused, a little bit like, coming into the ring, worrying about that in the back of your mind?
It was just so weird because usually once you step in the ring, everything fades away. This time I went in the ring and I could hear from everybody, Shakur, Richardson, everybody like just screaming stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know why he was zoning it out. It was weird. Like, it just felt like a weird fever dream just happened. It was just so awkward. Like I don't know why. Like usually fights don't feel that way. It just feels like you're in it and you're fighting. You don't hear nobody, nothing. So yeah, that was a little different for sure.
Thanks,
Ryan, why do you find out? I'm just curious as to how you felt about the weight, and regardless of who you fight next, do you think you'll stay at welterweight? You have been there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'll stay at welterweight. I felt I don't really feel too much different because I walk around like 160, so it's not really like too much of a difference for me. But today I didn't feel good at all, obviously. But as far as like, did I feel any different? I mean, just weight wise, maybe a little slower. I don't know. Maybe a little slower.
And if it's not a rematch with Devin or Rolly, would you consider Conor then, since he's also coming off a loss and it was a good performance,
Mhm.
and you guys are both very popular?
Like I said, whatever the fans want, man. I've always been open to fight anybody, so however the fans want.
Okay, last one.
Your first boxing.
Yep.
I have a question, my brother. Now, the walk entrance, you came up in the car. Now, the question is, what was warm up before the fight? Again, it's, it was at the hotel, you guys warming up?
Yeah, it was at the hotel.
I mean, how long did it take from the hotel getting to the arena? To the spot where the fight was at?
It's kind of like, it really didn't make sense, because like one of my big concerns was going to ice him down.
Exactly.
Gonna cool him out. I talked to him about it. Too much time in between us working out. You're supposed to stay fresh.
Yeah, you gotta be fresh, you gotta warm up.
I'm not saying that's the reason, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's like they icing you out. It's too much. So yeah, well, you can go ahead and answer, but I talked to him about it.
Right. It was like 30 minutes? Was it 30 minutes by the time you got home?
So we cooled down.
I didn't know. I thought it was closer to the arena than because I didn't really watch the entrances and how long it was taking. I was just kind of watching fights, but I was like, man, I'm in this Batmobile forever. And like the gas smelled crazy in that vehicle. I was just like, dang, it's taking forever. But
I mean, Rolly put on an amazing fight. We all know that. Both of you guys. I mean, he caught you right there in the second round. But you was off, like you said. You was off.
All right,
Right, when you're pursuing Tank Davis, you sound very different. Do you feel like you have the motivation to pursue fighting at the elite level?
of course, we all go through these moments. So it's still a fresh wound. I just lost. I'm not gonna sound excited to go after anybody right now. And I had an extremely off night. I fought in my eyes horrible. So I'm not gonna be selling any type of happy in any way.
Right, in the Haney fight, it was, I don't know, more sprint, maybe a little unprofessional, or crazy, whatever, but it's not the best you ever had. And now you're just like really calm and chill. Do you think you kind of need to go to like turn back up? Drinking,
Tequila helps you not people out, right? I mean, that's funny, bro. Imagine just knock out tequila and start a brand. It's just, I gotta figure it out up here. Mentality, because there's times where I felt like I fought good and I wasn't acting like that, right? Just a lot of stuff I gotta figure out mentally, and then I'll get back to it, and you'll see that aggression come out. I just didn't have that, tonight. I just didn't have that aggression to go kill me. You gotta have that in the ring. Just didn't have that tonight, so we'll figure it out.
Thank you, guys.